feel it in her bite. There's something just a little more than ecstasy beneath those pretty little eyes.
Tell me, when did this stop being fun? We're undone and uncomfortably numb.
Baby, I'll be right by your side, like it's right by design. Loving's easy if we just stop talking.
That was just a taste of the music made by our next guest, who have been described as infinitely catchy and the soundtrack to your summer. This week, they'll release a deluxe version of their latest album, I Think I've Heard This Before, and make a stop in Houston at the House of Blues for a concert with the rock band Boys Like Girls. Victor, Matthew, and Jesse with the band Arrows in Action join us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, you're absolutely welcome. Okay, so we know where you are. Let's take a look at how you got there. Jesse, starting with you, age 6, began the piano, but you fell in love with the Rock Band video game.
Wow, yeah. This feels like one of those like insider interviews. That's right. Yeah. I started playing piano at 6, and then I was playing the drums in Rock Band, and I was like, I think I could do the real thing.
Yeah, and you also were playing the drums in church, right? So was there ever any conflict between that secular music and rock and then playing in church?
I guess not. I mean, I never got to play Enter Sandman in a church, but it's really fun on the game.
Yeah. You also love disco and funk, and I love that you admit that you like disco. I love disco too. But in college, you changed your major 6 times. What was going on there?
I started out with a strong plan, and then I realized everyone else really liked the things that I was learning about a lot more than I did. So I started a band.
Yeah, well, there you go. You were compelled to start a band. And Victor, your background, a singer and guitar player. Age 10, you began learning the guitar. Did you love it right away, or was it a task?
It was a task for sure. It took me, I think I took guitar lessons for like 6 months, and then I just kind of stopped for a little bit and then picked it back up like a couple months later and just kind of started learning songs that I wanted to, and that's what made it more fun.
Yeah, in high school, you were the band Foul Play, but then you met Jesse and things clicked right there, which is kind of cool to see how bands first get started.
Yeah, Jesse actually came to a Foul Play show before I was ever in Arrows in Action, and then once I started going to college at the University of Florida, that's when I joined the band, and then a little ways later we got Matt.
Yeah, I always love going behind how someone decides to name a band, and yours is an interesting story.
You know,
yeah, it's a funny one. I was the only one of the 3 of us who was there for the naming of the band. And it kind of just happened. The alternate band names that were voted on were either Jesse and the Boys or Paper Beats Rock. And I think we got the right one.
Boys would have voted for Jesse and the Boys too, but alas.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah, here you are, but I love it, right? It's like when I was interviewing, the band Chicago once, and they're like, "Yeah, we're from Chicago." Yeah, that's it right there.
They got to it first. Great for us. Yeah.
That's all right, Matthew, you're a lifelong music lover as well. Your brother was in a concert band, so oftentimes we do what our siblings do as well. But in college, you loved it so much, you were in 5 different bands at one time?
Yes, that's true. I just wanted to be on stage as much as I possibly could, and I was just saying yes to all of it.
Yeah, but then that's when you also figured out what it is that you really love to do, and you switched to lead guitar, and that's all she wrote right there. But after getting serious about music, at what point did you realize that, you know what, for all of you, this actually can be a living versus something we just love doing?
It was shortly after Matt joined. I mean, once like Matt was like really in it with us, Jesse and I had recently graduated college, and Matt was about to graduate, and he kind of sat us down and was like, "Hey, like we can do this full time. Like I'm about to graduate. I want to know if like this is something we're gonna do." And Jesse and I were like, "Absolutely, yeah. We can push this as far as it'll go. Let's do it." Yeah.
One of the things that you all have had the advantage of, as opposed to earlier groups, is that thing called social media, because you could buy step whether you had a contract with a major record label or not, and get in real time what listeners thought about your music. And so in 2024, you had the single Cheekbones, took off immediately, hit 500,000 streams in the first week, now surpassed 200 million total streams. What is it like to wake up one morning and look at that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about for sure. And I mean, we're on tour right now. We get to play it every night and get to see all the people. Even though it's not our tour, we're opening the tour. How many people already know the song? So it's been a lot of fun. I mean, Cheap Bones has definitely been like a very exciting moment for us. So getting to see that and then on tour, it's been great. Yeah.
Your latest album, I think I've been here before. The first album signed to a label. Side A is the bright side, side B is the darker side. So what went into the decision to kind of give listeners that kind of choice of how they wake up that morning?
When we were writing it, I think, we went in kind of thinking we were going to have one consistent vision for the thing, but it became pretty clear pretty quickly. It was, the songs were kind of in two buckets. And instead of kind of putting them in an order where we're going in and out of those vibes constantly, we decided to, make an artistic choice here and separate them and make it something fun for fans too.
Yeah, yeah. How do you go about writing your songs? I think when people hear, it took them a year in the studio or 6 months in the studio or a year and a half, whatever, they're like, isn't a song just kind of written and done like in a few days or so? It's not. Sometimes that happens with people, but it's a process.
I mean, it's been different for each one. Really, on the last couple of albums, we really tried to be as collaborative as possible, and it's been really cool to see everyone's ideas being brought to the table when, like, if someone doesn't know how to finish something, someone else in the room will be able to complete it. And we've worked together for so long at this point that we kind of can read each other's brains.
You have your deluxe album. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. You have your deluxe album version, which releases this week. What does that deluxe album version include?
So that's going to include 4 more songs, 3 songs that were new and sort of written at the end of the writing process after the record was out, and 1 song that was released before the record, but just didn't quite fit the day and night concept, but is perfect for what we consider dusk, that kind of combines the two.
Yeah. All right. You've got Stop Talking, that single, the new single, Twice. You're on tour now, joining Boys Like Girls on the Soundtrack to Your Life tour. And Boys Like Girls, their debut album, basically shaped the entire generation of pop rock kids. In fact, you all remember growing up singing to those songs.
Yeah, and I say it every night on the tour that the first song that I purchased on iTunes was "The Great Escape" by Boys Like Girls. So I grew up a big fan, and they've definitely shaped our music and plenty of other people's music as well.
Yeah. I'm looking at this video here, and your audiences have a great time. You're heading to Houston, the House of Blues. What can audience members expect?
They can expect,
Well, we're very compelling and we're very funny.
yeah, just positivity and just
Energy.
energy, a lot of energy.
Yeah, right from the get-go.
Yeah. Just a fun little escape. We like to include the crowd in what we do.
Yeah, you can see that. That's super fun, and we could use some extra positivity in the world right now. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for getting up early and talking to us today, and can't wait to see you in Houston.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
so much for having us. We'll see you there.
All right, you can see Arrows in action live in concert with Boys Like Girls on the Soundtrack to Your Life tour this Saturday at the House of Blues. Doors open at 6 p.m. Their new deluxe album, I Think I've Heard This Before, will be released this Friday everywhere music is sold or streamed. For more information on Arrows in Action, visit greatdayhouston.com and we will connect you.